The attacker consumedly stabs the man with the knife and then drags him to a van. After it, the scene divides and we see a van the next morning. This is Keith's van, who has come to the forest with his family for camping. Keith cooks food for his family and they start consuming, but his daughter Amy had refused to consume. She talks to someone on the phone and goes into the forest. Meanwhile, the two men who live nearby come to them. They were asking Keith about their companion, the same man whom we saw being murdered at night. When Keith replies, "No, sorry. We didn't see anyone. We have just come for camping." It was clear that Keith was ignoring them, but then his son comes and gives them chocolates. They take the chocolates, and in the meantime, Keith's daughter Amy also comes here. Keith tells Amy to go and sit in the van. As they see Amy, the boys say, "Why don't we look at your van? We suspect that our companion will be in your van." Keith handles this situation calmly and says sorry, but now we are in a hurry. Hearing this, the two men quietly sit in their car and leave, and they also pack their bags and leave for their home. They reach halfway and meet the same two men again. They were fixing their car, and at this time, a man had a gun in his hand. Seeing this, Keith's wife gets scared and asks him to turn the van around, but instead, Keith continues driving forward. Now the men approach Keith and say, "Our van is broken. If possible, could you give us a lift?" You will pass through our town, seeing Keith's scared face. This man understood that they are afraid of his shotgun. That's why he says, "Not both of us. Just give a lift to one of us." "This is my friend Billy, and his house is on the way to town. Give him a lift. Once he reaches his house, he'll come back to pick me up. And don't worry about the gun. It will stay with me." Keith's wife still didn't want that a stranger sits in her van, but thinking about something, Keith agrees to take Billy with him. Billy comes in the car and starts talking to Keith's son. While talking, he tells her that his uncle and his two daughters live in his house. They will welcome them warmly because they enjoy having guests. At this time, Keith's son had a notepad in his hand, which he snatched. And seeing this, now he is surprised because this is the notepad of his companion who is missing from the night, and we know that he is dead. Before Billy could understand this reality, Keith's son, without wasting the time, stabs him in the shoulder with two knives and kills him. Now a big twist in the story is revealed, that the family that seemed innocent to us this is a family of dangerous serial killers. Everyone in the family is a serial killer. The man killed that night was also by Keith's son. The mechanism they were consuming during the camping was also that of a human. In simple words, they are serial killers but also cannibals, i.e., people who consume humans, but no one doubts them looking at their appearance. After killing Billy, all these people divide Billy into small pieces and then freeze him in the freezer because this is their food. At this time, Keith's wife gives her daughter this man's eye. Seeing this, her son asks, "Why are you giving this eye to her?" "You should give me this because I killed this man," but Keith's wife says, "I am giving this eye to Amy because she has control over herself and doesn't hit anyone just like that." Here, Billy's phone also starts ringing, and in anger, Keith breaks it. After it, they reach Billy's house because Billy had told that his family lives there. As they knock the door, two girls come to open the door. Among them, the eldest daughter is Julianne, and the youngest is Savannah. This family, making a very innocent face, says to them actually, "Our van is broken if you don't mind. Can we stay at your house for a while?" Before Julianne can say anything, Savannah interrupts and says, "Come a little further. There will be a town where you can stay." In response, Keith's wife says no. "We met Billy on the way, your brother. He told us to come here." Hearing their brother's name, they bring them to the house. They give them food, but they don't like it because they consume humans. How can they like ordinary food? After this, Keith says, "If you don't mind, I want to use your phone." Then Uncle says, "Actually, there is only one phone in our house, which is with Billy. If he comes, he will make you talk on your phone and will take you to your destination." While consuming, Savannah asks him a lot of questions like, if you met Billy on the way, then why didn't he bring you home? Then Keith's wife says he was walking and going back to the road for helping his friend. He just told the address of his house and left. But Savannah's questions were not coming to an end. Being tired of her questions, they take out their weapons to kill Savannah in anger. But then, there is a knock at the door, and a well-built man comes to their house. Seeing him, they all get scared because confronting and fighting such a person is always difficult for them. This is Julianne's fiancé, and seeing him, they hide their weapons again. The scene divides, and we see Billy's friend whom they left on the road. He kept calling Billy, but Billy's phone was switched off. Now he was scared, and then a policeman comes to him who offers to give him a lift, but this man has refused because he doesn't like this policeman. As the policeman leaves, this man starts vomiting, and that too because of the chocolate that Keith's daughter gave him. The scene divides, and we are shown the scene of Billy's house. In this house, when Amy goes to the washroom, by mistake Billy's eye, which his mom had gifted her, fell in the bathroom, and she came out of the bathroom without noticing. She sees Savannah outside the bathroom, to whom she starts attracting like a couple. Meanwhile, Julianne comes here and tells them that it's time to sleep. Before going to sleep, Savannah plays piano, which impressed Amy as well. After this, everyone went to sleep in their rooms. Keith's wife was worried because she didn't want to kill any family. They had made their rules that they only kill people who were a burden on this world, who did bad things. They had never killed any innocent, healthy families, and today they were going to do the same. Then Keith relaxes his wife and says, don't think much about them. They are a burden on this world. Look at their life standard. No life aim, no goal, don't worry. Everything will be fine. After this, Keith goes to his son, about whom we already know that he is very emotional. He says to his son, you kill Julianne, but I will kill her fiancé, because he is a strong man. You don't have to do anything before my signal because there will be chaos. There was Amy in Savannah's room watching Savannah's awards, which she had won by a long shot. Her aim was very accurate. They were talking meanwhile. We see that Keith has reached Savannah and Julianne's dad's room to kill him. Julian's dad, when feels uncomfortable in his room, he tries to scream, but in the meantime, Keith kills him while stabbing an axe and silences him forever. Keith's son attacks Julianne's fiancé alone at the same time. When he was vomiting, Keith stabbed his shoulders. As he turned back, Keith's son stabbed him in the chest, slit his throat, and then stabbed him in the neck, killing him. Although Keith has forbidden him to do this, but still he killed such a strong man so easily, he should get its reward, so Keith divides that man's tongue and gifts it to his son. When Amy went to sleep with Savannah, she tried to kill Savannah with her knife. Savannah was unaware of this plan. As she pushes Amy, her knife hits herself. Seeing her injured, Savannah panics and temporarily bandages her wounds, then she leaves the house to get first aid for her. Seeing this girl caring about her so much, Amy feels bad. That will she end this girl? We see that Savannah, who went to get the first aid, sees their van, so she went into the van and found Julianne's fiancé's body in the van. Seeing this, she realized that this whole family is of serial killers and they have come to end them. The scene divides and we see Julianne went to the washroom to vomit and finds Billy's eye that Amy dropped by mistake. Seeing this, she understands there is something wrong and their life is in danger. She goes to her dad's room being scared, but sees that they have ended her father too. Here. When she shouts, Keith comes and takes her away, covering her mouth with his hand. He takes Julianne to his wife and asks her to kill her, but his wife isn't ready to kill her. Before that lady kills Julianne, suddenly, an arrow stabs her neck because Savannah, after knowing their truth, has picked up her weapon from her room. Amy also arrives after hearing the noise and goes crazy upon seeing her mom dead. She thinks if she would have killed Savannah on the bed, her mom would be alive, but it wasn't too late yet. The rest of the people had to escape, so they planned to kill the girls and leave after setting the house on fire. They now start torturing Julie Ann so Savannah will reach here after hearing her screaming. Savannah comes here, but cleverly, there was Keith's son under her control on whom's neck there was her knife. A twist reveals here that Savannah has called the police from their phone. When Savannah puts a knife to his son's neck, Keith takes her sister under his control, holding a knife to her neck. Savannah knows she can't kill anyone, but they are so cruel. So she frees Keith's son to prevent them from killing her sister. After that, they tie them together. Maybe they were psychopaths as well. Now they have to torture those girls. Keith now brings the tongue of Julie Ann's fiancé while frying and asks them to consume. When Julie Ann refuses to consume, Keith divides her thumb and starts sucking on it. Later, he comes to Savannah and asks her to consume it. Savannah distracts him and says, "Your daughter is interested in girls, maybe you don't know this." Hearing this, Keith becomes insane and starts fighting with his daughter. Likewise, Savannah gets some time to free herself. She picks up a fork and stabs Keith's eye. Keith was such a psychopath. How painful it is when an eye is stabbed with a fork. He takes out his eye with the fork and consumes it. During this fight, Billy's friend comes, whom they left on the road. He finds out that there is something wrong, and he comes to Billy's house to check this. But seeing this situation, he starts fighting Keith. On the other side, we see Keith's son sprinkling kerosene oil on the house. He also sees this man and comes inside the house, and Savannah controls him. Savannah first takes him to the kitchen and burns his hand, and then throws boiling water on his face. In doing this, the boy weakens, and afterward, Savannah kills him by applying pressure to his neck. Savannah killed her enemy, but on the other hand, Billy's friend lost to Keith. Despite being injured, he defends himself skillfully and kills Keith's friend by stabbing him in the head. He did this, but then Julie Ann comes from behind and hits his head hardly with a hammer. Due to it, he died. The sisters see each other and sigh, but they are not at peace because they know Amy is still alive and they have to kill her. Suddenly, Amy comes in Julie Ann and kills her while stabbing her. Now she is after Savannah. Savannah was about to attack her with her arrow to save her life, but to escape from this attack, Amy rushes outside the house. We see that the police arrive outside. Savannah has called them, but from Amy's number. The police are deceived by the situation and consider Amy's family innocent while suspecting the villagers as the serial killers. They decide to save Amy, so they shoot Savannah and kill her. The police officer also informs his headquarters that the villagers killed